Hello YouTube, this is umills03. As some of you might be familiar with, I've been making YouTube videos for a little over a decade, for about 13 or 14 years, about half my life. What I haven't done is any videos in the realm of computer programming or computer science. When I was 17 or 18 years old, I learned how to write code in a programming language called Java. The way that I did that was I took AP Computer Science online. What I've discovered since then is that you don't need to take an advanced placement course in high school in order to learn programming fundamentals. These are concepts and skills that can be approachable, that can be made understandable and familiar and comfortable to anyone through the right training and practice and explanation. So what I'm going to use the next set of YouTube videos to do is educate you through everything that I know how to do in Java programming. We'll talk about how to print statements, such as how to print something like hello world. We'll talk about arithmetic expressions. How can I use Java to figure out what 7 times 5 is? We'll figure out variables, string methods, such as working with words, sentences, letters, paragraphs. We'll talk about if-else logic, Boolean variables. We'll talk about scanning for user input. We'll talk about if-else blocks, while loops, for loops, the math class, one-dimensional and two-dimensional arrays, for each loops, static methods, overloaded methods, object-oriented fundamentals, getter and setter methods, the toString method, the default constructor, recursion, arrays of objects, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, sorting algorithms, searching algorithms, and array lists, and a little bit about data types and data structures. So there's all kinds of paradigms that we have to learn about Java programming. The first thing that we'll need to do is download a software application that will enable us to write Java code. On my screen here, you see a search engine called Blackle, and you'll see that it's saved about 8,852,872 watt hours of energy over Google. So you might consider using this search engine, especially if you care about saving the penguins or reducing the amount of pennies that you have to fork over to the electric company each month. What we'll do is we'll type in 5 letters here. We'll type in BlueJ. You can just do it in one word. There should be one link that shows up at the very top, and we're talking about a free Java development environment. So we're talking about a software program that we use to write Java code, and it's called an integrated development environment. It's called IDE. And there's different IDEs, there's different software programs that you can use to do it, but we're going to be talking about one called BlueJ. So your homework assignment, or what you might want to do before we start really going into the Java coding, is to download the type of BlueJ that you need, depending on your operating system. So Windows, Mac, or Linux, or maybe something else if you have a different type of system here. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll be able to start printing statements and figuring out how to print statements to the console in lesson 1. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.